Greetings, fellow alumni. We are here at Rose Alumni House, and we are excited to be shooting Season 2 of Yale Afternoons with Alison, a series where we bring university leaders to Rose Alumni House to talk about their priorities and alumni engagement. Today, I'll be sitting down with Vicky Chun, the Thomas A. Beckett Director of Athletics. Vicky Chun, welcome to Rose Alumni House.
This is amazing. I can't believe this is the first time I've been in here.
Well, not the last.
No, this is sweet.
Well, I wore my leather sweater
I know.
for you.
I see
You're
that.
the only guest who's getting the leather sweater treatment.
I love it. You've earned it.
Thank you. Well, we're going to talk about you, your role, and alumni engagement. So excited to dive in. But I think we're going to have a lot of audience members who may be meeting you for the first time. So talk a little bit about the scope of the Director of Athletics role. Like, it's way bigger, I think, than just varsity sports.
Yes, it's beyond our 35 varsity sports. We have a great deal of club sports, around 50 for undergraduate, around 20 and growing for graduate.
Wow.
We have our fitness center and our classes, and then there's intramurals. Something's always happening.
Yes.
It's probably one of the fittest schools I've ever seen.
Yeah, and you've got, facilities all over New Haven, essentially now, and
literally
beyond.
all over.
Yeah, and beyond into Derby, and where else? What am I missing? We've got the boathouse in Derby.
You got Gill's Ferry. You've got our outdoor education center, which is very cool. I recommend for anyone to go and visit. It is absolutely beautiful and stunning.
Yep, in Old Lyme, for those who don't know.
You know, you once were within the athletic department.
I was. It's so much has changed, though, in athletics since I was there, and I loved my time there, but it's really, you're dealing with issues that we never dealt with, the name, image, likeness, and insurance, and it's really, the scope of the job is really, really huge, so kudos to you, because it is really hard to keep up with all of those different parts of the role, from the rec all the way to national championship level teams.
And we want excellence across the board. And so it has been challenging because higher education and college athletics are changing almost at a daily rate.
Right.
I keep the news on all the time because I usually find out there first. And then I'll get a follow-up email on what is happening. It has kept us on our toes.
I can't imagine. It's definitely a lot of work. So that said, with athletics being so, in the limelight right now and changing, on a daily basis, what brought you to Yale and what keeps you excited about this job?
Oh, that's an easy. Thank you for the softball question. Previously I was working at my alma mater. I had heard that, legendary Tom Beckett was retiring. And I knew that opportunity wouldn't come for me and where I was in my career. So I just jumped at it. And I've always had admiration for Yale. So my cousin, Joyce, who's like my older sister, she went to Yale, and that's where I got my first Yale hoodie. And I found that photo back at my parents' home with me in this big Yale hoodie. I was like, wow. And then when I was the athletic director at my alma mater, our first away game was at Yale.
Oh, no way.
And I wanted a cap. I wanted a Yale cap.
Yep.
So I kind of sneaked away from our tailgate, went to the bowl. And I was paying cash.
There's no trace of you
having
done this.
There's no trace until I ran into some Colgate people on their way to the game. They're like, "Oh, Vicky, what are you doing here?" I was like, "I'm just getting it for a friend." But it was incredible, and it was my first experience at the bowl.
Yeah,
it was just amazing. I got to meet Tom.
Yep,
and it was something that I always said to myself, if I had the opportunity, I would go for it.
That's amazing. So let's get into your priorities. What are your top 3, 4 priorities that you want, alums to know, and then we'll get into how they can help you with those.
When I became an athletic director, they're like, whatever you do, don't make promises. So my first gathering was with all the student athletes.
Okay.
So a little less than 1,000.
Yep.
And I promised them that they would have the best experience in the country.
Okay.
And as I was saying it, I go, oh my gosh, everyone's going to, why did you say that? Because I made a promise.
Yeah.
And I keep my promises.
Yeah.
And so that is my number one focus. And
okay.
when I'm presenting my budget, when I'm presenting anything,
yeah.
the student athlete, health and safety, but there are so many things that we can do for them that is a priority, because that's all part of having a great experience.
Yep.
And we've all read that exercise, health, things like that really help you personally, which will then help you professionally.
Yep.
And so really trying to make sure that our facilities, our equipment, it's all state of the art.
Yeah.
That's my first priority. The second is winning.
Yeah.
And winning across everything.
Yeah.
It's not just varsity sports. Everyone who gets to put on a jersey or something that says Yale, really, they take it personally.
Yeah.
So in order for you to do that, the expectation is excellence. With excellence comes winning.
Yeah, I think you made a really good point in that, we all have limited amounts of free time, right? As a student athlete,
very limited.
As a graduate student,
I don't think
as a
our
professional,
students sleep.
Right. So when we commit our free time to something, I think setting a goal of excellence is regardless of the level, just because it's a finite resource of time, which is a beautiful thing. So how can alumni, both athletic alumni and also non-athletic alumni, help you achieve some of these priorities?
First, I want to thank you, your staff, and I want to thank all of our alumni, because we have achieved quite a bit of success across the board.
Yeah.
And alumni support is essential to that. Without the Yale alumni, we're toast.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
We wouldn't achieve the greatness that we have. And it comes in so many ways, whether it's social media or calls, or if our teams travel everywhere and they're wearing their Yale gear, and they're like, oh my gosh, which team are you?
Yeah.
And they have great conversations. When we go to visiting schools, it's just magical when alums get together. You like to have a ton of fun.
Yeah.
And most of the folks, when I go on the road, the support I get aren't from former Yale student athletes.
Right.
They're Yale alums.
They're fans.
That,
they're
that
the alums
keep in touch. I mean, I was surprised how much they knew.
Yeah.
And I think that's typical of a Yale student and a Yale alum.
Yeah.
They do their homework.
Yeah.
And they care.
Yeah.
They really care.
Well, I just am thrilled with what you're doing in terms of athletics. Really is the front porch of the university in many ways, and it's a really easy access place for people to connect and share vocally their love for their alma mater. So I'm excited that we're partnering with your team to get this kind of regional clubs program off the ground, and that we are bringing, we're highlighting teams that are in kind of our non-traditional markets to make sure that those regional clubs get the opportunity to celebrate with our teams, like Portland and Seattle, you just mentioned. So
absolutely.
That's going to be it's awesome, and I love what we're doing together. Can you highlight an alum who's done really exceptional work on your behalf, as in lifting up these priorities?
There are so many.
Yeah.
This would be a 3-hour, honestly, a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
But what comes to mind for me is Jerry Kenny, who, class of 63, who passed in 2019.
Yeah.
I'd made many mistakes in my first year at Yale, and And so we had the Ivy League has every other year they have a football foundation dinner.
Yep.
And then everyone's with their alums.
Yep.
And I was talking to the football alums, there's this great helmet that I had at my previous institution.
Okay.
And I thought if Colgate can afford it, we definitely can afford it. So I announced we are getting these coolest custom-made Rydell helmets.
Okay.
Right? So then my deputy comes to me and says, what are you thinking? Do you know how much these helmets cost? And I said, what? We had them at Colgate. She goes, yeah, for like 6 or 7 of them. And I said, oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
So now, I'm having my meeting.
You've made a promise.
Yes.
And you don't break promises.
And I was just like, I just didn't have that in my bank account, or I would have done it.
Yeah.
So during one of my meetings with Jerry, and I told him, I made just a big mistake, and I'll talk to the alums. He's like, don't worry about it. I'll handle it. Your focus is on the endowment.
Okay.
And I did cry.
Yeah.
Because I thought, wow, this is going to be the shortest lived athletic director. Here I am. I'm like, oh, wow. And we still have those
That's amazing.
Rydell helmets. And Jerry taught me that nothing is impossible.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go into the more, the fun part of this interview.
Okay.
The questions we ask everybody. Do you have a favorite spot on campus?
Yes, the Bass Library.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
It's underground.
Yep.
They serve food. You can get all kinds of books there.
Yep.
Not just, physics or, textbooks. Like books.
Books.
Yeah. In the New York Times bestseller. Yeah. So I love coming in through Sterling. Okay. But I love popping out.
Yep. Over at the little hut.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's amazing. Do you have a favorite Yale memory in your time?
Oh, yes. And that was 2019. It was my second year at Yale, and we were set to host Harvard. Okay. So the game. Oh. And
I think I know maybe where you're going.
Yeah. So I'm very optimistic, and I knew we had to win. I mean, we lost to Harvard at Fenway, so I'm 0-1. Okay. So I got a lot riding on this game. Yeah. So they take the lead into the half. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm walking out, I'm looking at our band, and I think, wow, they're late getting off. Yeah. Then I see them unrolling like a sign, and I'm like, oh, man, like we gotta like do the sign and come back in. And then it was a sign that had nothing to do with the game. Yeah. There were like several areas that they wanted to capture, and then I realized it's a protest.
It's the protest.
And all of a sudden, people just start running flooding. Once we did get them off the field, what was incredible, and so we go into double overtime. Yep. And we won. It went from senior to senior to senior. I love it. And it was pitch black.
Yeah. It's an iconic Yale moment.
I lost Peter for a second, and I was afraid because it was that dark.
It's iconic. It comes up all the. I mean, you see it resurfacing all the time. That famous.
But I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I bet. All right, last question. An item that you always have on your desk.
Oh, a picture of a portrait of David Swenson. Okay. 6 months before I even started, he called me. And we spoke for over 2 hours. Yeah. He treated me so well. Yeah. And like a Yale alum. Yeah. I'll never forget like the time, what I learned, what he shared with me. Yeah. It was life-changing for me. Yep. And I will never understand why he treated me so well, but
he is definitely the heart. His heart is still here. Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
It will always be on my desk.
I love that. Well, Vicky Chun, it's been really fun having you here.
I appreciate this. This is awesome.
Yeah, we're excited for alums to learn more about you and about athletics and the ways that they can support you. And in the meantime, lots more games coming up throughout the year. So keep your eyes on the YAA website and the athletics website.
Thank you.
All right,
again.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.